Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. Today, we're answering a question that I've had myself for several years. How many credit cards should you actually have to unlock the highest possible credit score? If you put this question into Google, you'll receive so many different answers. Some people swear by keeping just one card and calling it a day. Others believe having 5, 10, or even 20 cards is the key. And then there are those who think credit cards are a trap sent from the financial underworld. So who's right? As of the second quarter of 2025, 1.5% of U.S. consumers had a FICO score of 850, according to Experian data. Some notable traits of consumers with the perfect credit score include an above average number of credit cards, lower utilization rates, and lower than average total debt. So the question still remains, how many credit cards do you need to have an 850 credit score? So in this video, we're going to break it all down. Whether you're just starting out or you're already juggling a dozen credit card accounts, you're about to discover how each number of credit cards impacts your credit score overall. You're also going to discover the pros and cons of having a perfect credit score and what might you need to achieve this credit score in the long run. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So let's start with 0. This is where it all begins, or rather where it doesn't begin. Most of us know someone or have interacted with at least one person who refuses to use credit cards altogether. Think of people like Dave Ramsey.
Credit cards are a really dumb idea for really broke people.
And while I respect where they're coming from, we also need to live in the world as it is and not just how we wish it to be. Here's the problem. Your credit utilization ratio is a measure of how much credit you've used versus how much credit that you actually have available. Typically, it's expressed as a percentage. And in general, having lower credit utilization ratios can help you increase your credit score. In general, lenders look for a credit utilization of 30% or less. Having a ratio higher than this can signal you're using too much of your available credit. In order to even gain points in this credit category, you must have a revolving account, such as a credit card or a personal line of credit. So while you don't necessarily need to have a credit card per se to have an 850 FICO score, it's actually impossible based on the FICO scoring model for you to have an 850 credit score without some type of revolving debt, whether it be a credit card or a personal line of credit. You will need to have one or the other on your credit profile. Next, let's take a look at a one credit card setup. Many people have at least one credit card because it's simple, it's easy, and it's very safe to manage. That's already better than nothing. But while having one credit card is a good start, it's far from optimal if you want to actually reach your maximum goal of having an 850 credit score. Now, while a perfect 850 credit score is achievable, it's not likely to happen with just one credit card. Once again, your FICO score, which is the most widely used credit scoring model, is determined by several factors. And while credit utilization plays a very important role, it's not the only determining factor. There's other categories like on-time payments, length of credit history, credit mix, and just overall debt. These other categories heavily influence your score. When you only have one credit card account, you're only building on-time payments and you're building a length of credit history with just a single account. I think of this as the equivalent of trying to do a job by yourself as opposed to working with a team. A lot of people stick with the one credit card setup because they associate having more credit cards with more risk. But the truth is, if you know how to manage debt properly, there's nothing wrong with having multiple cards. If anything, more cards will be a greater opportunity for you to display how well you manage your debt, not the opposite. If you do plan on sticking with just one card, at least make sure it's the right one for you. You want to get a card that has a high credit limit with no or a very low annual fee, no foreign transaction fees, and at least some type of rewards or point structure that fits your lifestyle. So yes, one card can work, but it probably will take you a long time before you reach an 850 credit score. Now, if you want to build and maintain an exceptional credit score without the complications of managing like a dozen cards, having 2 to 4 is definitely where you want to be. For me personally, I was able to reach over an 800 credit score when I had this range of credit cards open. The reason why this number of credit cards works so well is because having multiple cards makes it easier to optimize the factors that make up your credit score. So 35% of your credit score is payment history. With multiple cards, you have more opportunities to show consistent on-time payments. More data equals a higher credit score. Think about this for 1 second. If you only have one card that reports one time per month, you have 12 on-time payments that are reported for the entire year. However, if you had 4 credit cards that you were managing responsibly, that would equate to 48 on-time payments being reported after 1 year. I mean, that is like a 400% increase when you're talking about on-time payments. And again, that's 35% of your overall credit score. So of course, more cards will definitely help your score increase. Next, 30% of your credit score is utilization. We already talked about that, but the more cards that you have means the more credit limit that you'll have available for your overall utilization. And this means that it'll be lower, which will also boost your credit score. I don't believe that utilization can be maximized any more than just having it low. So whether you have $10,000 in credit limit or you have $100,000, if you're only using 1%, then it's going to be 1%, and that's going to help you maximize this category. After utilization, 15% of your credit score will be your credit history length. Fewer new accounts will equal longer average age. If you stick with these cards that you have now long term, that will help you establish a better credit profile. Then we have 10% of your credit score being new credit. Not constantly applying for cards means that you'll have fewer hard inquiries. Lenders like to see that you're not actively seeking credit. So when you have less hard inquiries, it will help you maximize this particular category. And the last 10% will be your credit mix. 2 to 4 revolving accounts show that you can handle a variety of accounts, especially when paired with other loans like auto and mortgage. And if you can manage 2 to 4 cards responsibly, you'll hit all 5 factors of your credit score without overwhelming yourself. Now, again, this setup helped me reach the low 800 range. And I think that this one is actually good if you would like to maximize your credit score to get into the exceptional range. So anything 800 and above. All right, now this is where I believe that we're going to come to our conclusion. I believe that 5 to 6 credit cards is the perfect amount to achieve an 850 credit score, and I'm going to explain why. If your credit profile is well aged, I would say 3 to 5 years of average account history, and you've managed each account properly, you will maximize every other factor of your credit score if you have 5 to 6 credit cards on your credit profile. Now, your average age of accounts is something that is widely overlooked. Every new credit card that you open will lower your average age. However, if you already have 15 to 20 accounts, and 5 or 6 of those being credit cards, a single new card or new account will barely move the needle, which is why the more accounts that you have with the more age, the less impactful opening new accounts will actually be. I've reached a point where my credit score is now in the low 800 range. And the only thing is, once you get to this point, the only thing that seems to make your score go up when I've used the FICO score simulator is more on-time payments or letting your accounts age. So again, the more credit cards that you have, the easier that it is to maintain a higher age once you let those accounts get a little older. Then you have multiple accounts that can report on-time payments faster. Just think about that. If you have around 15 accounts that are reporting on-time payments every single year, that would equate to 180 on-time payments being reported. So the screenshot that you're viewing right now is from Experian, and it's data from Q3 of 2023. This chart shows the characteristics of consumers with an 850 credit score. What you'll notice is that they have lower debt balances nearly across the board. The credit utilization that you see is near zero on average, but you also see the average credit cards that they hold is 5.8, with the average of most consumers being 3.9. This data proves consumers with perfect credit scores tend to carry more credit cards, both retail and otherwise, but their credit utilization rate is much lower. The total utilization is kept in the low single-digit percentage rate, so that'll let you know if you really want to maximize your credit score and get to an 850, your utilization should be actually below 10%. And while it's not shown in the table, those with perfect credit scores also had lengthy credit histories. According to Experian data, baby boomers and other older consumers make up 66% of the consumers with an 850 FICO score. Generation X comes up next at 26%, and millennials and younger consumers will account for less than 8%. So if we were to summarize all this data, in order for you to have an 850 FICO score, you need at least 5 to 6 credit cards. You want to maintain a utilization ratio ratio of less than 10%, it has to be in a single digit. And despite what you've heard from other places, it seems like whether you have retail cards or cards from banks, then it will still be okay as long as at least 4 of those cards are retail cards, and it looks like 1 credit card can be from a major financial institution. Even having an auto loan balance of close to $19,000 would be fine, and having a mortgage of $250,000 around that range will still be fine. So when it comes down to it, it looks like any type of collateral backed loan, like a mortgage, like an auto loan, doesn't really have that much weight. As long as you're paying it on time, you'll collect on-time payments. Your credit cards, your personal lines of credit that are revolving, keep them less than 10%, and you should have at least 5 to 6 credit cards, and your accounts have to be aged. This will equate to an 850 credit score. Now, before we wrap up, I want to discuss why having an 850 credit score doesn't really matter and why, for the most part, it might be more trouble than it's worth. For most people, a perfect credit score probably won't be worth it because having very good to excellent credit will be enough for lenders to give you good rates or other perks. If you're the kind of person who just likes a credit score challenge, trying to boost your credit score to an 850 might be possible for you, and it could be fun. And if you're just about to apply for a mortgage or another major loan, getting your credit score as high as possible is always a good move. I wouldn't spend too much energy or money trying to earn an 850 credit score. Opening credit lines or loans you don't need just to get a perfect score isn't good for your finances. Plus, at some point, you'll be putting in more effort than you'll get back. Because again, once you're north of 800, you likely won't be getting any additional benefits from having a higher credit score in the first place. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I've actually only seen a few people that have an 850 credit score. I track mine usually monthly, and I also take a look at the Experian FICO score simulator, and to be honest, it's pretty on point. Like, usually when it predicts how my score will increase, it's usually right. So I know in the next year I'll be at like a 830 credit score. So I do think in about 2 more years I might hit an 850, but then again, I might open some new personal credit cards after I get a new house. And then, from there, it might drop my score back sub 800. It doesn't really matter though. In the end, if I do it, it's a really cool thing. If not, then it doesn't really matter. I'm already in that exceptional category. So if you have an 850 credit score, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment with your data points. I mean, I think that's a pretty cool achievement. Nonetheless, I would love to hear about your credit profile and what you have that makes up that score. And if you're on the brink of having that, please let me know exactly what it looks like you need in order to achieve that. If you're someone like me and you use the FICO simulator, then you'll have an idea of what it takes to actually get there. So if you're like a year or so away because you got to age your accounts a little bit more, then drop that in the comments below as well. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video, and you have a wonderful day.